Donnie Swagger. Donnie Swagger. Donnie Swagger is the son of Jimmy Swagger out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Let me tell you right now, I never liked Donnie Swagger. His daddy, back in the day, his daddy was a bona fide Southern Baptist preacher. He's still alive, but I'm just saying in his heyday. I grew up watching him on TV. He was about the only Caucasian preacher that I watched. And he preached just like the average Southern black preacher. But his son, Donnie Swagger, I never liked him since he first started in the ministry. I have heard him over the years say stuff. Son Life, I listen. They are nationwide in the United States. They own their own channels and stuff. Broadcast Son Life broadcast. They are some of the most corrupt right-wing church people there are. He said, if you're not voting is a sin. This is not the first time he has said something that is not Bible. But this is the latest. He stood up in that pulpit and said, voting, not voting, is a sin. That's what he said. He is known for saying stuff foolish. But just like a lot of preachers, they never put themselves in a position to be questioned. They just talk. He sit on their broadcast, he sit on their radio, talk. And over the years, you can tell, you rewind the clock back a few years back, you can tell he was saying stuff that his daddy and other well-established Bible teachers didn't agree with, but they wouldn't call him. They just kind of went around him on certain stuff. The man is not spiritual at all. I heard him literally sit on the radio one time and say that when it comes to evangelism and getting out there in the streets, I think he must have been questioned or something. Every once in a while, somebody would get through on a radio show and ask them some questions and get a question in. And this question had to do with something about evangelism. Going out into the streets, preaching and teaching, as we see across this country, where you have street preachers just goes out and preach and evangelize. Donnie Swagger didn't hesitate to say that he don't do that. He basically said he was afraid to do that. They down there in Baton Rouge. They have a large church complex, a Bible college, Bible school, such. He basically said that he's afraid. He said, I know what the Bible say for evangelism and stuff like that, but that's why we have other people to go out there and do that. He basically, I'm rich. I ain't going. As far as I'm going to go is on the radio and on TV. America is full with people like that. All they want is the money. You see what they wear? Suits. Expensive suits. I'm going to do a video talking about that too. The suit and tie guys of church. That That tells you a lot about them. The suit and tie guys. You always see them sharp, wearing expensive suits and stuff. But preaching is like farming. You get dirty, you get dusty. Got to put on your overalls. Go out there and work. These guys wear expensive suits, shoes, ride in the back seat of the limos, tinted out cars, drive through the heart of Baton Rouge, going to their church. You ever see them? You ever see them get out and minister? You ever see them get out and take the time to talk to people? No, they afraid. They're afraid. Donnie Swagger always have been a joke to me. He started out a joke. No, man is not a preacher. And they are too heavy on politics. I don't mind preachers preaching against unrighteousness. If you're talking about politics, it don't matter. I don't mind, but you can't be biased. And that's exactly what they are, biased. I don't understand how righteous people can gather and promote an unholy man that's running for president. But they want to be viewed as righteous. You talk about the Democrats and paint them as being ungodly, and God has abandoned them and they damn to hell, but you rally around the Republicans. Try to do the best y'all can to paint them as being holy, especially Trump. Want to paint them being holy, angels of God. When you looking at his resume, Ask Donnie Swagger how you feel about Mike Pence. That'll tell you. Ask them how they feel about Mike Pence. He's a rhino. I already know they're going to say he's a rhino. When people can't stand Mike Pence, I'm going to tell you right now. They just be quiet about it, but in their heart, they can't stand him because they feel like he betrayed Donald Trump and certified them votes. This is what we have for Christian leadership in this country. Democrats do it too, but Democrats started doing this after the Republicans have been doing it so long. This goes back years. Republicans started doing this stuff in church long before the Democrats caught on to it. Grew up in the South, you know, them conservatives would come to black churches, hoping to get votes, stand up in the pulpit, talk to people. Conservatives did that for a long time until the Democrats started to caught on to it. Now this is what you have. I don't mind preachers talking about politics as long as they being fair about it. You can't paint one other as being demonized and abandoning of the devil. Then you rally around your guy and his resume says it all. Says it all about who he is and where his faith at. They make me sick trying to always paint Donald Trump as being an angel of God. Oh, this lady said, it's just show you God's hand and protection is on Trump. God must want him to be. Why y'all always want to use the Bible to paint this man as being a God sent or the prophet of today's church or today's world, when you know he's not? This just show you how corrupt they are. They can't stand Mike Pence. I'm gonna tell you right now, these people can't stand Mike Pence. Politics come before righteousness of God. They showed us. They show us this. As the Jimmy Swagger and his all these conservative preachers go back 5 or 6 years ago. Now, ask them how they feel on Mike Pence. Was he right with God? They ain't gonna talk about it. He betrayed Trump. That's all they care about. He's a rhino. Politics come before God. Politics come before God. They don't hesitate to slam the Democrats, talk about the Democrats, how they are the devil and the party of it. But then when you get theirs, talk about Trump or Republicans, and his life is on display, they want to ignore that. The man is riddled with sin, been sinful all his life. Y'all have no biblical reasons to support Donald Trump. The church should be off the church should be out of bounds for politically pandering. You're gonna talk about politicians, you have to be fair. This speaking to both sides, y'all have to be fair. You can't demonize one side and make them look like the devil. Then you try to glorify them and make the other look like they holy angels when you clearly see they're not. But what about Donald Trump lifestyle? Well, we don't want to talk about that. Y'all always want to throw stones. But then they turn right around and talk about the Democrats with no hesitation. All they do is promote politics. This both sides. I like preachers going to be straight down the middle. Voting and supporting politics really don't have no place in church. You stand up in the pulpit and proudly promote your candidate and want to use the Bible to justify it. Then say, they've been saying it. Voting is a God-given right. If I don't vote, then I'm committing sin. That ain't nowhere in the Bible. This type of stuff you get. This type of stuff come out of these churches. You can't challenge nobody on it. Just because you wear a suit and you filthy rich, that don't mean you right. I ask you some questions. Show me something in the Bible that say that counter lean to that. What you said about voting. Every scripture I read in the Bible is talking against voting and being involved with the affairs of the world. Stay away from this stuff. Politics, office, government, all that was established by God, but they are corrupt. And God told his people to stay away from this stuff. But yet they stand up in the pulpit and preach a whole sermon aimed at promoting Trump after this, especially after this so-called attempt on his life. Now God's hand must be, I mean, it's awful the way they stray away from the Bible. Well, they never walk with the Bible anyway. But it did just show you what type of people these conservative, so-called conservative Christians are, especially them. I always say, the Democrats don't try to hide who they are. It's the conservatives. They'll look past this man's sin and this man's lifestyle and still promote him and want to paint him as being an angel. Somehow God is protecting him and pushing him when his lifestyle and his personality is anything but a holy man. You can't ignore that. You ain't gonna ignore Democrats' personal lifestyle and they resume. They not gonna ignore that. I've been around a long time. I see they don't ignore it. They use anything and everything against the Democrats. Well, but when it comes to the Republic, well, we focus on the platform, not the lifestyle, not the left. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't say it about the Democrat. Y'all use everything against Democrats. Y'all gonna you gonna use everything on the table, but it come to yours. Well, we want to stick with the politics, not in personal life. That doesn't matter. Everybody have sin. This man got two ex-wives that started up, and we know this. The last wife, he had no respect. Very abusive. Who can't see that? Cheats on him. The man is dirty. Everybody in the United States that know something about Trump, we know what them counts and all his stuff is Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. He been doing this stuff for years. Donald Trump been tied up in shady business since he been a businessman. I heard about the stuff and read up on the stuff. He famous for using the courts. He been doing that for years, making deals, shady deals, defrauding banks and stuff, and hide in the courts. Hide on the lawyers. They look like an honest man. Just like Jimmy Swagger and them, they not honest. They've been sitting on the radio begging folks and taking people money for ages, for years. And apparently Donnie Swagger tried to say something about spreading the gospel, take government money and all this stuff. You ever see Donnie Swagger go out the country to Africa and places like that to spread the gospel? That man though is nothing but a hack. He's nothing but a joke. That man too afraid to walk down 2 or 3 blocks in Baton Rouge. His dad, I give his dad a pass. He done got old now, but Donnie Swagger, I hell you get to see him out there. How do he go to church? How do he show up at church? Is he loped out, riding in a limo? Man ain't got no courage. Sit up there and just promote that devil. They willing to look past everything just to align themselves to a crooked politician. You don't have an honest bone in his body. They pouring on now. They pouring on, try to make sure they get Trump them votes, put him back in the White House. They trying to get them Christian evangelist votes and stuff. God ain't, just because he survived a so-called attempt that scraped his ear. It's the, and if you believe that, you got to be crazy anyway. Man, life was never in danger. It was a setup. They don't care. They don't care. They just want Trump back in the White House. Like he's the answer to the world's problem. He was in there, and what did he do? Steal, use the Oval Office for personal business. That's what they do. They believe everything they do is right about the Bible when they know it's wrong. But yet they're going to stand up there and pretend like they right. God says stay away from the affairs of the world. Be in the world, but not of the world. Let the world people promote politics and stuff like that. We don't have no business going to the polls and voting. But we gonna do it. But church should be the last place where somebody step and promote a politician. Like I said, ask them about Mike Pence, how they feel about Mike Pence. They'll tell you. I haven't heard any conservative preacher came out and apologized to Mike Pence. He will forever be a traitor in their eyes. He would never live that down. They would never forgive him for not standing with Donald Trump. You can rest assured of that. And he's a man of God. Mike Pence is a man of God, without a shadow of a doubt. That's why I told my wife, I said, if that's the only Republican that I would be willing to vote for, Mike Pence. They can't stand him. Simply because he failed to stand with Donald Trump trying to hijack the elections. They wanted that man. January 6th, don't think for not one second that these conservatives, preachers and leaders didn't want Mike Pence gone permanently. This the type of stuff we're dealing with that run these churches. These some devils. They hide behind hate. Jimmy Swagger them down there in Louisiana. They believe whites are superior. When you talk about racial issues and stuff, they believe whites are superior. They'll never let that go. They had a fit when they started moving all these statues and all that stuff in the South. They wasn't happy about it. They wasn't happy. They don't like it. They will always hold to that stuff. They will always hold to that.